Well, I've shown you how to pick your accounts, and imagine now you have a set of say 100 accounts. All right, it's really important now that we stress on segmenting these accounts. With so many accounts, you could have, with 100 accounts, you could have probably 4 to 3 decision makers per account, which is 400 leads. It becomes really hard to manage and ensure that you can focus on these accounts. How do you differentiate sending? Suppose you are targeting the food business and McDonald's is the largest there, and you have also the local burger joints and a few chains over there. How do you make sure that the email that you send to McDonald's is personalized, and that you don't send the same email to the local burger joints as well? Because that would be the same problem as Ferrari and Toyota. I've seen salespeople make this mistake over and over again where they treat accounts the same. And that's why I want to come about to segmenting your accounts into different tiers. So you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. All right. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and segmented each one of these accounts, and how about you, and how you go about segmenting these accounts is up to you as well, because I know that our sales process here at Freshdesk is a little different. We segment our accounts based on employees, but you might be segmenting your accounts based on revenue or a bunch of other things. But I want to tell you that the biggest brands you want on your list or in your pocket should be on tier 1. All the industry leaders should be on tier 1. Sharks and whales. You must be wondering what that is. Okay, that's a small term I came up with, a bunch of terms I came up with. So sharks and whales are nothing but a way I segment my companies. Sharks are what I define as fast-moving companies that are young and open to improvements. They are companies that are driven by a young workforce that as soon as they see a problem, they implement a change. Their decision makers haven't been probably in the company for more than 5 to 10 years, and they're probably between the age gap of 30 to 45. Whales, on the other hand, whales are companies that have withstood the test of time. They've probably been there since fire was discovered. They've been there since 1905 and 1950. And I can assure you that if you pick up the phone and try calling a whale, you will never be able to reach him, the decision maker at a whale. You'll never be able to reach him. You'll probably have to connect through his PA, speak to another PA, finally get access to his schedule, and then probably book some time with him, hopefully. But on the other hand, with sharks, they are very, very young companies. They are fast moving, and they are open to seeing change. Well, although I've defined sharks and whales, I just want to tell you that this is something that you don't get off the bat. It's not something you buy. When you run through your tier 1 accounts of probably 100 to 110 accounts, you start to identify the sharks and whales between them. And both of them need to be handled in a very, very different manner. I'm going to jump down quickly to what tier 2 and tier 3 companies are. Tier 2 companies are companies where it's easy to find the right person. You can identify them as growing companies, and they don't check all the boxes that you need for a tier 1 company. That's exactly where your tier 2 companies be, where you can push your tier 2 companies. Your tier 3 companies, though, are companies you might not have a story for. It's where you A/B test. It's where you do all the dirty work of your bulk emailing. By the way, I want to mention that I'm not entirely against bulk emailing. In fact, I think you can still bulk email, but you cannot bulk email your tier 1 accounts, because then you'd just be wasting that amount of opportunity there in those accounts. For tier 1 accounts, it's important that you approach them in a personal way. You start engaging them via LinkedIn. You type in personalized emails. You make phone calls, drop voice messages that are very, very personalized, talking about probably being in the same school as you, talking about them probably having the same network as you. Really bonding and connecting with these tier 1 leads and accounts on a very, very personal manner. Your tier 2 companies, though, you can run some automated emails on them. You can go ahead and drop some prospecting calls. I'll come to prospecting calls a little later, and a little less on the LinkedIn work, because I want to break down your efforts here into 70% of your time should go into tier 1 accounts, 20% of your time should go into tier 2, and 10% into tier 3.